All right, I want to welcome you to the Do Work Podcast. The Do Work Podcast is a weekly podcast where we discuss all things mindset, entrepreneurship, living your best life, living in your truth. And today is no different. So, for the next 31 days, we started on October 1st. We're going to be doing 31 days of motivation and mindfulness. And I'm telling you right now, these are just 10 minutes just for a great way for you to start your day, reset your day, and just get your shit together. Because let's be honest, none of us are perfect, and we are constantly striving to be the best version of ourselves. And today is no different. I am no different. I say all the time, guys, when I'm talking to you, I'm really talking to myself. These are things I say to myself daily and remind myself daily. All right, guys. So today, day 5, we're going to talk about consistency. Now, consistency is a tough one for most people. Why? Because, we kind of do it and we kind of don't. But when it comes to learning to be more consistent, one of the things I found that really worked for me is getting past the uncomfortability of I don't want to or I don't feel like it. Now, I always say consistency is a predecessor to discipline because everyone's like, oh, I need to be more disciplined. Well, I'll tell you a secret. You cannot be disciplined until you have become consistent. Consistency, doing things day in and day out, even when we don't want to. Showing up even when we don't want to. Waking up early even when we don't want to. Consistency is built and it improves as you do it over time. So a lot of times what happens is people are consistent, but only for a short amount of time. And then they're upset because they don't necessarily get the changes they thought they were going to get. But Diva, I've been consistent for a whole week. Yeah, that's great. And I applaud you. But that's easy. Try doing it for a month or a few months or a year. But because the scope of that is just so large, the goal is to wake up, be consistent one day at a time. Yes, it's important to look at the big picture, but we can't always see that. And I'll be honest and say, I can't always see it. But the goal is to do it one day at a time. I wake up today. Yesterday we talked about gratitude on day 4. I wake up today. Maybe I forgot to do my gratitude affirmations. Jump back on the wagon, do it again. When you fall off the wagon, it's important to stay on top of that. I'm constantly trying to get my stuff together. I know we're all trying to get our stuff together. Yes, we are live on Instagram this morning, so I'm reading some of the comments. No, but it's important to be consistent. And the easiest way to do that is to have those items you need to do them every day, even when you don't want to. Do them no matter what. Do them when you're tired. Do them when you don't feel like it. Do them when people try to distract you and pull your focus. Consistency is hard. It's the hardest part of any growth plan, any process. When people talk about winning and showing up, winners are consistent. Winners are consistent even when they're losing. I'm going to say that again. Winners are consistent even when they're losing. The people who win are great about going through the bad days. The people who win are into and really digging into, and they love to sit in and still complete the process. You have to be consistent. You have to be. I can't tell you how many times in my personal life where I've been super consistent and then falling off. And the moment I fell off was the moment of my breakthrough. You have to show up daily. You have to be consistent, because if you don't, you may be this close to getting what you want and this close to getting where you need to be. And just because the one day you woke up and said, no, not today, that could be the day you miss your breakthrough. That could be the day. Nobody wants that. That could be the day. How do we become more consistent? Well, I'll tell you one way you can do. Get yourself an accountability partner. Get someone who's going to hold you accountable and make sure you're doing your shit. Whatever that may be. That could be a life coach. That could be a trainer. That could be a nutrition coach. That could be a really good friend. And I'm talking to friend. I'm not talking to yes man. I'm talking to friend. Someone who's going to hold you accountable for the things you say you're going to do. Talk is cheap. Especially in this era now, everybody talks big. Everybody talks big. Talk is cheap. Get yourself an accountability partner. Now, second part of that, and I think one of the most important parts is you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to show up for you because let's be honest, no one can be consistent for you. You have to show up and be consistent for yourself. I know somebody needs to hear this today, and I'm going to give it to you. Somebody needs to hear it today. Don't worry, we start Red Bull early around here. You have to be consistent for yourself. You have to push yourself for that consistency. Again, that accountability partner is just a support, which is great. Support is crucial. It's needed. I have accountability partners and coaches and people who make sure I show up and do what I'm supposed to do. We all need it. Life is awesome. Yes, you live alone and you die alone, but I'll tell you right now, it's hard to do this journey alone. You have to be consistent. Consistency is key to being successful in anything you want in this life. I don't care what problem, situation you throw at me. The first thing I'm going to say to you is, are you being consistent and doing the things that are needing to be done that can help you achieve that goal? And most times, when people go, well, then you're not being consistent. One thing about consistency, it's a yes or no answer. It's a yes or no question. It's not a sometimes maybe. Are you consistent? Yes or no? Like that is the big question today. Are you consistent? Yes or no? Everybody, I want to lose weight. If you haven't lost weight yet, you're not consistent. I want to make more money. If you haven't done the things day in and day out, you're not consistent. I have projects I've worked on, started, stopped. I've been writing a book, start and stop. I'm not being consistent. That's why the damn book ain't done. Consistency is key. I say to you guys all the time, when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself as well. It's important that we stay consistent. The third thing and the most important thing, so we already talked, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to get an accountability partner. The second thing you're going to do, you're going to hold yourself accountable. And the third thing you're going to do, more important than anything, you need to have a list and write down what you need, the steps you're going to take to be consistent. What's going to help put you in that place? Because without a plan or a strategy, consistency is not happening because you don't even know what to be consistent on or do. Look, it's up to you. Nobody can be consistent for you. Nobody can do the work for you. And you know I tell you that all the time. Today is no different. So today, as you navigate through this amazing world we live in, ask yourself, be real with yourself. Am I being consistent? Am I doing the work that needs to be done to reach my goals? All right, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Do Work Podcast 31 Days of Motivation and Mindfulness series. This is day 5. We are definitely going to keep it going. Make sure to subscribe on Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on Apple, here on YouTube as well. All right. I love you. I appreciate you. And, you know, I can't leave without saying this. Remember, nothing changes unless you do. Nothing changes unless you do the work. Let's go.